ship's staff down to deck 4 on board the Costa Concordia, where all the vessel's lifeboats were, and actually told the passengers who were waiting there to go back to their rooms and wait while they fixed the ship's electric generator. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea how dangerous that is? Because maybe at this point the crew did not know for certain that the Costa Concordia was going to sink yet. However, they were completely aware that the vessel was taking on water. And you have to remember that a lot of staterooms on these ships are actually pretty close to the waterline below deck 4. So by telling passengers just to go back to their rooms and wait, you are sending passengers deep inside a potential... I, no joke, have no words for what I just watched. I cannot believe that the actual captain of the Costa Concordia abandoned his ship and was just sitting on the shoreline watching the rescue play out. And just to clarify something a little bit here, this isn't just as simple as him hopping into a lifeboat and leaving. He actually took steps to try to prevent himself from being caught. He actually went back to his room after the order to evacuate was given, changed into a suit, then went and got into a lifeboat and left the vessel. And it turns out, I found this out too, at the time of the sinking, Captain Schettino was a married man, and he was on board the vessel with his mistress. Yeah, wow, that shows a real good judge of character right there on you, man. Listen, that's pretty messed up. And then anyway, a little bit later, after the rescue was completed, and the cleanup of the Costa Concordia wreck site was actually underway, Captain Schettino ended up going to trial for this, which he should. You know, a captain should be the last person off a vessel. You are the captain of a ship. It is your responsibility to make sure all the passengers and crew that are on that ship and under your watch get off the vessel before it sinks. Anyway, at the trial for this, he actually said, and I'm not making this up, he tripped and fell into a lifeboat. I'm sorry, but it makes me mad just talking about it. And then he has the guts to say to the Coast Guard that he's coordinating the rescue from the shoreline. Coordinate the rescue on your ship. You are the captain. It is your responsibility to all of those people on board that vessel. You know Captain Smith on the Titanic? He didn't leave the ship until quite literally the final moments of the sinking. Captain Smith was last seen going into the water as the bridge of the Titanic right here was going under. He never got into a lifeboat. He never did anything. He was a captain on his vessel, and he did everything he could to ensure that as many people as possible got off the Titanic before it sank. Captain Schettino, you could learn a thing or two from Captain Smith. Around the ship's interior. You know, changed some rooms around a bit, added a few more staterooms. They modernized the ship a bit. I did find one picture of a very popular room on the Olympic before this retrofit, and then I found a picture of it after. You know the grand staircase? The most beautiful room on the Olympic-class ships, in my opinion? Well, somebody had the bright idea to paint it green. Why? Why would you do this? I would love to talk to whoever made this design decision and give them a piece of my mind. I mean, honestly, the grand staircase is one of the most iconic rooms on the ship. Why would you paint it green? How could... Well, they didn't know it at the time, but they actually had one more hurdle to overcome. And honestly, they overcame this hurdle without either of them even realizing it. What Woolner and Stephenson didn't realize when they jumped into Collapsible D is that up on the Titanic's boat deck, Second Officer Charles Lightoller, who throughout the entire evening had been adamant about no men in any of his lifeboats, saw Woolner and Stephenson leap from the promenade deck and into Collapsible D. And believe it or not, when he saw this, Lightoller had the temptation for some stupid reason to go down and order these two men out of that lifeboat. Are you kidding me? What are you thinking, Lightoller? It's 2:10 a.m. The final plunge of the Titanic is about to begin. There's more than enough room in Collapsible D for both Woolner and Stephenson. There is no reason for you to order those two men out of that lifeboat. But anyway, now that I've raged for a moment, Lightoller did consider... I'm sorry, what did you just say? Did you just say that you hoped that their mother would follow you and your kids to America and you would all live happily there together? Well, I can tell you one thing. She's definitely going to follow you to the New World, but it's going to be to get the kids back that you kidnapped. Okay. For those of you who can't tell, I'm raging at Michelle right now. I'm not. All right, so just bear that in mind. But honestly, How selfish can you be? I honestly believe that my theory earlier about why these kids were kept on the Titanic so long is now accurate because of this comment you made. Honestly, you kept your kids on the Titanic so long just because you didn't want them to leave without you. I mean, you're their father. It is your job to make sure your kids are safe, then you try to save yourself. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm surprised you were even willing to let these kids go in collapsible D. I mean, it's a good thing you saved your kids, but it's a horrible job being a parent by letting the kids be in that much danger in the first place. I mean, anyway, so... Okay, Sam, stop raging. I've had my rage moment, and